I got a little game for us.
Okay.
And the question is, with their character in this movie, does this Muppet...
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. Matt here, and I am joined by Brad this week, and we are going to be reviewing a classic in Muppet Treasure Island today. So, Brad, welcome back to the pod. How's it going?
It's going great. It's been a minute since you've invited me back. I was starting to think you were mad at me, and just happy to be here.
Yeah, good. Glad. Before we get into it, I have to tell you this story because it's something that always brings me inquisitive, and I want to join the party.
Brings you inquisitive?
It brings me inquisitive. That's proper, right? It makes me
no.
I am.
This here just brings me inquisitive.
I am intrigued by it. So there is, on the way I go to work, there is this empty lot. I think they're working on develop it. It's surrounded by a chain link fence. There is always this minivan that is parked along the road. And
really quick, tell me about this minivan. What kind of minivan are we talking? Set the mood.
It's probably an older Chrysler Town and Country, garbage bag over the back window.
What kind of body are we? Like, have we gotten into the sleeker body style, or is it still like the super old, like?
No, it's
square,
the sleeker.
boxy?
It's the sleeker body style. So like 2000s era. And so, like I said, trash bag over the back window. But
classic.
There's always a group of people hanging out. But this is an interesting group of people that seems like they know how to have a good time. There's one guy in a motorized scooter who is missing the entire lower half of his body. Like, not even at the waist, like mid torso down. And he's just always wheeling around. Seems to be having a good time. They have I don't know. So that's why I'm inquisitive.
That's my first question.
That's why it makes me inquisitive.
Gives me inquisitive.
They'll be sitting out there. There's about 8 people. They'll be chilling. They'll have a portable grill out there, and it just looks like a good time. And they're always there when the weather's decent. And I'm like, that group of people seems like they know how to have fun.
Is the dude in the scooter your boss's boyfriend?
No, it is not. He's only missing one leg and half an arm.
He's missing a side of his body, not
correct.
Bottom.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Not the full shebang. But yeah, no, I saw them Friday when I was driving by, and I'm like, they just always seem like they're having a grand old time. And I want to just crash the party one of these days.
Do it.
Just carry some meat.
They'll immediately think you're a cop.
Well, there is a community center across the street with like 5 cop cars that are always parked there. So, I don't know. Yeah. But no, it seemed like a good time.
They sound like a lot of fun. Let me also bring something up. Now, I don't know when this episode's going to air, but what's currently happening, I missed the drop. Tonight at 7, the new Dave Portnoy, Zach Bryan diss track dropped.
Oh, yes. I
have some thoughts.
Well, I think it's
about the
out
situation
on Twitter.
Okay.
There's the first one
Twitter.
Was The Smallest Man Alive. That was the original one.
So good.
And now they're on Country Ditty is what the new one is called.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I want to say a couple things about this. First of all, I really like Zach Bryan's music. I am a big fan of his music. And I didn't know who Brianna Chicken Fry was until like a week and a half ago.
Okay.
I'm not a Barstool fan. I like Dave's pizza reviews, but generally he annoys me. I have no allegiance to Barstool. I have a lot of affection for Zach Bryan's music.
Fair.
But if he is even half of as big of a piece of shit as they're saying he is, And what they're saying is even partly true. Like, even if he only offered Brianna $6 million and one house to sign an NDA and all the other malarkey, he's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not cool. I'm out.
Yeah.
His music's good, but there's a lot of good music out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe how incompetent his PR team is to say, hey, we'll get this one taken down. I bet that'll make Dave Portnoy shut up.
Dude, they took it down so many times because, so what I saw, I'm not fully in on the drama. So I'm a little bit different thing from you. Like, I've followed Barstool stuff, listened to mainly like KFC Radio and the Yak. Never was the biggest Dave Portnoy guy. Pizza reviews sometimes good. What they did for small businesses was cool.
They're pretty much always
during
good.
COVID.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Even when he's being a giant asshole, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
The pizza reviews are great.
But and so I've known Brianna Chicken Fry since she joined Barstool. They did like Barstool Survivor.
Speaking of her like a friend, I've known her for years.
Okay, I've known of her.
Me and Brie go way back.
Because they do a Barstool Survivor show where it's like locked in the office and they do like Survivor style challenges, and she was on that. It pretty interesting, actually, pretty solid television. The Barstool Survivor series over the year have been entertaining, even if you're not familiar with all the Barstool people. But yeah, Zach Bryan, I never was like a religious listener. I love Something in the Orange, Motorcycle Drive By, Heavy Eyes. But yeah, the stuff that's coming out, and I'd heard rumors before because of like an ex-wife and bad relationships with some girlfriends since then. I keep getting like Reddit will email me Zach Bryan Reddit page updates, even though I do not follow it, but I clicked on one once, and so now I get the emails. But yeah, but Dave he'd done like diss tracks before, like he did back. He's not very good. Like the original one was called Rise Page Views Rise, and he was in a beef with Kevin Clancy, one of the hosts of KFC Radio, and it's just he just has no rhythm at all. This one significantly better and catchier.
The other
but apparently,
dude, who I also don't know, carried that for sure. And then
yeah, he's a TikToker.
Dave's rap really picked up some speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, supposedly it was getting DMCA'd because years ago Josh Richards had signed like a music deal with the Warner Media Group, and because he was singing on it is why it was getting DMCA'd. So that's why he released today Dave's version of it, like Taylor's version where it's just him, which is significantly worse.
Yeah.
Because Josh do it better. But yeah, dude, that drama is wild and has been interesting to see how it's unfolded.
I don't know who at Zach Bryan's label or on his media team is so ignorant about the internet that they thought that taking it down so aggressively would do anything but blow this shit up.
Yep.
If you want to guarantee,
especially with Dave,
I know,
like he's
if
like,
they
love
would
him
have
or
just
hate him, he's got the media stuff locked down.
Yeah,
like
if
he
they
knows
would have
what
just
he's doing.
left it, it was like, okay, there's nothing like horribly damning.
Mm-hmm.
They made fun of his DUI. Talked about that he cheated. It's got an STD.
Allegedly STDs. Yep.
Allegedly STDs, and that he's short.
Mm-hmm.
You can survive that.
Mm-hmm.
It, people pay attention, people listen, people are into it. For a few days, they move on.
Yeah.
By taking it down and being so aggressive, they have guaranteed way more people here, way more people care. Everybody's really tuned into this beef. And Zach's like releasing songs and shit, not diss tracks, but just like his entire PR team needs to be fired immediately. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on his side on this. I will take that job because I have half of a brain, and I could be like, go
let's
to
log
rehab.
you out for a couple days, buddy.
Yeah, like after the whole like Kanye's greater than Taylor, Eagles greater than Chiefs, malarkey. Whoever is in charge of him needed to be like, oh, let's not make any waves for a while. And then this happened.
Well, and there were already
Zach.
some because the day, like 2 days after he announced that they were broken up, then there's like some Snapchat that at a college campus that Zach Bryan was in the dorm room with the roommate and like had a video of him in the bed, like stuff like that. That would it's on the internet. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was someone else, but that was going around too. So yeah, his PR right now is at an all-time low. They're dropping
he needs
the ball.
rehab.
Yeah.
He needs to go to rehab. That is the best get out of hot water free card celebrities have. You remember when that girl, Ingrid, whatever her name is, the country singer that bombed the national anthem at the All-Star game?
She's like, nope,
next
I'm going
day,
to rehab.
I'm going to rehab. Everybody's just like, all right, fair. Like, that's what he needs to do.
John Mulaney went to rehab, and now he just hosted SNL again.
See?
So, yep. Rehab.
All right.
It's a trick. All right.
You know who's never gone to rehab?
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. You know who's definitely gone to rehab?
Tim Curry. As Long John Silver.
Oh. Has Tim Curry gone to rehab? I don't know about that. I was going to say Gonzo.
Gonzo's
a puppet more likely to be high on cocaine than Gonzo.
Animal.
Yeah, I knew it the second I said it. Yeah.
But the Muppets have a coke. Also, Rizzo could also be on coke.
They're all on coke, man. The Muppets came up in the 80s.
That's true. But yes, we'll get away from the celebrity drama, social media, diss tracks, and get into what we're here to talk about, which is Muppet Treasure Island. So I had not watched this movie in probably at least 10 years, but I was talking to one of my buddies about the show Black Sails, the Star series I've talked about on here multiple times. One of my favorite TV series of all time. It's near perfect series. 4 seasons on Netflix now. So go watch that if you haven't. But
that is a horny show for Netflix.
Well, it was a Stars series.
I know, but
and it's just
put that on Netflix.
Dude, Netflix has some hornier originals I feel like I've seen discourse about.
Really?
I could be wrong.
I haven't seen any.
They've got some horny Christmas ones coming up.
I heard everybody say that Bridgerton was super horny, and I think maybe the first season was. Maybe
it had moments, but I heard it was basically like medieval 50 Shades of Grey from someone.
Yeah.
Not medieval, but like 50 Shades of Grey in that time period. And it was not even close. I mean, the 50 Shades movie wasn't even really like 50 Shades of Grey from what I've heard. I did not read the books, but that's what I've heard from people who read
But you've watched the movie? Is that what
I saw the first movie. Catherine wanted to go see the first one, so we saw the first one.
You said, this isn't what I signed up for.
I have not watched the other two, but anyways, we were talking about that series. It has characters like Captain Flint and Long John Silver and Billy Bones. So it's a mix of it has real life pirates in it too. So it's a mix of like a prequel to Treasure Island and this. And so then I was talking to a buddy about it who was watching it, and he just finished it. We were talking about it, and I said, now I feel like I need to watch Muppet Treasure Island. And then I texted you right after that. I'm like, hey, let's do Muppet Treasure Island this week. And here we are.
So it hadn't been that long for me because I have children. And so I have more of a reason to watch it. This was one of our go-to COVID movies. Actually, that's when we introduced it to Adeline. Yeah, she found the Muppets creepy at first.
That's fair. Was this
I don't know
her first Muppet movie that she watched?
This was her first Muppet movie.
Okay.
And I
Cabin
think it's
Fever
really
is fitting for COVID.
Man, edit that out. I got things to say about that later.
Sorry. God. I'm not going to edit
Stealing
that one
my
out.
thunder. Stealing my thunder.
But sorry. I'm disappointed. This only has 6.9 stars out of 10 on IMDb. And I feel like it should be a solid 8.
IMDb is really finicky, but what's its Rotten Tomatoes? It's 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, 71% critics, 77% audience. I think that's right.
That's fair. I think this is my favorite of the Muppet movies. I haven't watched the other ones in a long time, but
I think as a movie, period, just like as a movie, the Muppet Christmas Carol is probably the best Muppet movie.
I've never actually watched that one.
It's really good.
Never watched it.
It does not touch Treasure Island for humor and just like pure Muppet goofiness.
Okay. I remember
it's great.
I remember just the Muppet movie. It's entertaining. It's good. I remember the Great Muppet Caper. Those are the only two that are really in my head. And
there's the Jason Segel, Amy Adams, the Muppets.
I haven't watched those.
It's really good. I haven't seen this. I have seen the
second one. Had the guy from Modern Family in it. Ty something.
Yeah. But I don't think it was quite as good. The first one, the one with Jason Segel, the Muppets, is excellent.
Can you watch
there's
it? I'm
also that Muppet Frog Prince movie that we watched at Uncle Al's.
I've seen that.
With Sweetums. Yeah.
Sweetums.
Sweetums gonna get that froggy now.
That's right. But if you're not familiar, Muppet Treasure Island is the Muppets telling of Treasure Island, which is about Captain Flint, buried treasure, killed his crew. He has a treasure map that Billy Bones has. Captain Flint's old crew tries to get it back. It's the second time we've done it. You really like that impression.
Every time. Every time you say it.
That's a pretty solid impression. But Billy Bones, Captain Flint's old crew, goes after him.
Billy Bones.
And Billy gives the map to Jim. What? Jim Hawkins.
Jim.
Who is a I'm blanking on the name, but he works in the
Scullery boy.
Yeah, a scullery boy. That's right. That's the word I was missing. A scullery boy, and he gets the treasure map. Starts trying to get a crew together to go after this treasure on the down low. On the ship is someone else, the one-legged man that Billy Bones had warned Jim about, Long John Silver.
Jim.
Go after the treasure, and there's treachery and hijinks ensue. One thing that stood out to me most watching this movie, because this is the first Muppet movie I've watched in, like I said, a long ass time, is how impressive the live action actors are, because on that set you have people in leotards laying on the ground holding up puppets. You are not working off of actual real life people. You're having to interact and have these conversations with it. And Tim Curry is a fucking professional and so good in this. Butchering his name is bad.
But I completely, especially because it's so easy.
Yeah, it really is.
So I completely agree. The human actors do a great job. But also just the way they shoot it, you don't forget that they're puppets. You see that they're puppets. But you're not thinking about like, oh, this shot looks weird because they had to have the puppeteers hide somewhere. Like, it's shot really naturally so that it flows and it doesn't feel like they're just like sitting behind a half wall hiding the puppeteers. It's really really incredible. There's a reason the Muppets do it the best. And in an age where so much is CGI, we can do so much digitally, it's kind of fun to watch a movie that doesn't really have anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just pure practical effects, puppeteering, and pirateering. In a really whimsical and fun way.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I forgot how much I enjoyed this movie, like growing up, and as an adult, it still holds up for me. Like, so the songs still hit. It was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself immensely.
That was something I was worried about when we went to go show Adeline, because for us, good movies as a kid were so skewed because we were only allowed to see very small, narrow types of movies that were deemed appropriate for us. So there's been a number of movies that we watched over and over and over again as kids that I've started watching with my kids, and I was like, oh no, this is garbage.
Like The Little Mermaid 2.
Like The Little Mermaid 2. Like the Soccer Airbud.
But it had Emma Putta in it. That's why
and I'm pretty
I didn't
sure
enjoy
she
that
quit
movie for the
after
soccer.
That. It's so bad. Anyway, I love this movie, and I've always loved the Muppets. And this, I think, is a great. If I had to show someone a movie to be like, no, this is why the Muppets are great, this would probably be it.
Yeah. The only thing would be is if you don't like musicals. If you don't like music.
Yeah.
Then
is this a musical?
No. I would say yes. It has original songs for it that the main characters sing. I have defined musicals on here anytime when the main characters sing at least twice. So I count Top Gun as a musical because it has Great Balls of Fire and You've Lost That Loving Feeling.
So when are we doing that?
TBD. Maybe we'll
see
kick
you
off
next
the
week.
new year with Top Gun. Next week's episode, I will be reviewing the national tour of The Little Mermaid. So we'll be seeing that. Then
Not
the week
The Little
after,
Mermaid 2.
No, that did not get a Broadway production.
Probably because it was garbage.
There's still a couple songs in there that are catchy, but overall it is hot garbage. And then the week after that, I will be seeing Wicked. So I will be giving thoughts on that. Maybe not a full review. I'm seeing it the Thursday it opens. So the 21st. So I am excited about that. Early reviews of Wicked have been fantastic. So
I was really down on it through production, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, shit, this is probably going to be awesome. So the Muppets, Muppet Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
What stood out to you?
What stood out to me, first and foremost, Tim Curry's performance. Like I said, so good. I hadn't watched a ton of things with Tim Curry growing up. Like, I didn't watch it. I hadn't seen Rocky Horror until the last few years. Have you never seen Rocky Horror? Need to watch Rocky Horror, Brad.
Stay focused, Matt. Stay focused.
He is also, isn't he in Home Alone 2?
Yeah, he's the hotel manager.
The hotel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's a few things, but he is just so good in this. And then also I think the music's just so fun.
Yeah.
And the humor is enough where
he was in Fern Gully.
Fern Gully. The humor's not like playing down to kids or just doing too much over the top innuendo. Like, that's there's some. But there's some Muppets that more than others are. It's like a little more tongue in cheek for the adults, which I always appreciate.
Oh man,
But
the way that the Muppets are always do this, but you see it in Muppet Treasure Island. They're not afraid to be self-referential, and they're not afraid to break the fourth wall. So when Billy Bones dies, and Rizzo just goes, "He's dead. I thought this was supposed to be a kids' movie." Kills me every time. They do that throughout the movie. They're not afraid to refer to the movie in the movie. In I think really fun ways.
Yeah, it works really well in this context, and there's so many moments where they'll reference other things too. And like you said, we have, what are the two old guys who are always in the box, the theater reviewers in the Muppets? I don't remember
Statler
their
and
names.
Waldorf.
Yeah, and they're like in the bow of the ship. What's the front of the ship? Prow? That doesn't sound right. Is it prow? It doesn't. Prow doesn't. I don't think prow of the ship is a thing. Usually there's a mermaid there, but this has the two old Muppets.
So Google says bow.
Okay.
What is a prow?
I don't know.
Oh, the prow is the portion of a ship's bow that's above water. Come on. Nailed it. I nailed it.
Okay, well done. I didn't think that was a thing, so I stand corrected. They're on the prow. But just the humor throughout it were some of the things. The writing is very clever. Everything that happens in it is well done. There's not really many groan-inducing things, or just it moves quick. Not a second is wasted, I felt like. It's a beautiful movie.
What's yeah, I think one of the things that the Muppets do really well is they follow the contours of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel, Treasure Island, but aren't afraid to mix it up and deviate when it just doesn't suit their purposes. They do a really good job drawing inspiration from the source material, but not slavishly devoting themselves to it. So instead of Benjamin Gunn, they're like, we need a place for Piggy. Benjamina Gunn, turn into a romance thing. We'll bring in the natives instead of like a pure, like desolate, kind of situation. So I think there's things like that just in the arc of the story that show their creativity, show their ability to be flexible with what they received, and keep things going in a way that makes sense for the story they're trying to tell.
I would agree. I had the Wikipedia pulled up and I got distracted because there is a lawsuit section on the Wikipedia for this movie. I love that. Apparently, the Hormel Foods Corporation, the creators of Spam, sued Jim Henson Productions for using the name Spam for one of the film's tribal pig characters. The judge dismissed their suit on September 22nd, 1995, after a trial for failure to prove damages, noting one might think Hormel would welcome the association with a genuine source of pork.
This was a judge?
That's what it says.
That's incredible.
That's what the Wikipedia post says.
With a genuine source of pork. That's pretty good. All right, let's talk about the jokes that hit for you. What made you laugh?
One of the parts that made me laugh is when there's a lot, but one of the things that just jumped to my head is when they're going through and they're reading off the name of the crew, and they're the most obvious. I'm trying to get
ugly bug faced baby eating O'Brien.
Yeah, and then you've got the old Tom, dead Tom, the lobsters, bad Polly Lobster, Black Dog, real old Tom, clueless Morgan. This isn't all the names. I was hoping that Wikipedia would throw me a bone because there were just so many of them that were just great. And then the bit right after that, when they're all talking about it, like, this is the most just, what are we doing here? These are brigands and thieves, like, what? And Long John comes in with a special brandy to toast to it. And Fozzie's character is it's just, he's like, there will be no alcohol off the ship. He's like, throws it out, and he's like, but it's bad luck to do it. And they just do it like 5 times, and it is just it's great. Yeah,
Fozzie crushes it every time.
I don't think there's a single Waka Waka in this, though.
I think there is.
Is there?
I'm not sure.
But like, even just when they're introduced to him and Squire Trelawney, and he's like I'm just blinking, but they're like basically like his imbecile son. Yeah, like, that's what we're for. I really enjoyed all those moments. But what stood out to you? What was what hit for you?
A couple things that I thought were especially prescient for our current society. First, you've already referenced was Cabin Fever, the song, which is a fun song, but that hit so hard during lockdown that when we watched it, we thought it was fun, and we started a tradition where when we were feeling like stir crazy, we would put on Cabin Fever and just have a dance party just to get the wiggles out. And that's a really endearing memory of this movie. So every time I see it, every time I think of Cabin Fever, that stands out to me. But also, when I watched it this time, Rizzo's little rat cruise, just randomly going on, right? That's completely oblivious to all the pirates and all the other shit that's going on. And it's just Rizzo's running this rat cruise on the side. Just reminds me of one of those YouTube dipshit side hustlers. Just if you're not running a separate cruise on your treasure hunt, you don't even want to get ahead, bro. It's just it felt very it made sense for our current sort of dystopic side hustle society. I think for me, I felt like the first half of the movie was the stronger of the two. I thought a lot of the laughs that it gave me were in that first kind of half to 2/3, but it always gets me when they're on the island and the crew's kind of turned on Long John and they tie him up and they give him the black spot. And he gaslights them into
taking it back.
He's just like, how dare you give me... You tore out a page of the Holy Bible, the gates of hell.
Yeah.
We're sorry. Bow down on your knees and repent.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
And powerful.
Yeah. The goat's hilarious.
The clueless, yeah. What am I saying? That's
But it's not his birthday yet.
Going back to earlier where they're like, who hired this crew? It reminded me, I was thinking of the Fozzie when everyone points at him. They're like, Kermit's like, who hired this crew? A bad Kermit impression. He's just like, your finger hired the crew? No, the man who lives in my finger hired the crew, Mr. Bimbo. It's just so good. And
sailing for adventure on that big blue wet thing.
Yeah, I I think I agree with you. The first half has more comedic notes. However, the second half has a professional pirate in it, which to me is the best song of the movie.
Yeah.
When you're a professional pirate, you don't have to wear a suit. Like that was one of the lines from this that was always in my always stuck in my head.
I didn't realize all the different things that it was referencing too in that song when we were a kid, right? Like that Raging Bull reference. Well, I could have been a contender. Of course we didn't get that. Over our heads. But it's those little nuggets that they throw in for the adults. I think what it does for me is I can never stand Piggy.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy Miss Piggy. And so Muppet movies that are Piggy heavy generally don't hit as well for me.
That's fair.
And she doesn't come in until pretty friggin' late.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great choice. Oh, Kermit.
That's pretty solid. Dude, you have a career as a Muppet impressionist.
I have a career as an impressionist. Have you heard my Bob Dylan?
No, but I'm not a big Bob Dylan dude.
Me either.
No.
It's not a flattering impression. But it's spot on.
I can do a decent Heath Ledger Joker. And then
what? Everybody can.
Well, I said I wasn't a good impressionist.
Lay it on me.
My father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy took the kitchen knife to protect herself. He didn't like that. Not one bit. That's stop there. Sampling.
That movie was the only thing our friends wanted to watch for most of high school.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about it on here. Both of us feel like that movie is overrated.
Look, when
it's IMDb a well-shot movie.
Has it,
it's a beautifully movie.
Shot. And Heath Ledger's Joker is incredible.
The rest?
Mid.
I
had someone legitimately try to tell me that the whole neither of the boats blowing each other up wasn't schmaltzy. He was just like, no, man, it makes sense. In fact, it's kind of cynical, right? Because it only took one person to throw the detonator off. People weren't happy. I was like, are you kidding me? There's nothing cynical about people be like, no, like, there's still good people out there to make the right choice. And have Batman be like, see, your plan will never work. There's still good people in Gotham. It's like, come on. This is cheesy as hell.
In my opinion, besides Heath Ledger's Joker, I think Heath Ledger's Joker, like you said, is fantastic. But Matt Reeves, the Batman, buries the Dark Knight overall, in my opinion.
I agree.
That is my favorite.
Partly because, I mean, and obviously Christopher Nolan was anticipating being able to have Heath Ledger for the third movie. But Harvey Dent was a solid and compelling villain. But putting his entire arc in The Dark Knight was too fast. And he wasted a really good, compelling villain.
Yeah.
This isn't about The Dark Knight, though.
No. Muppet Treasure Island. What were there any other things you wanted to call out? Things that worked for you, or what was your favorite song in the film? Is it Cabin Fever because of the memories associated, or was it go with?
I think for the nostalgia, I'll say Cabin Fever. I think Professional Pirate is really good, but also big shout out to Big Blue Wet Thing, like the
Big Blue Wet Thing.
Isn't that what it's called? I don't know what the actual name of the song is.
Sailing for Adventure is the name of it.
I'm going to call it Big Blue Wet Thing.
Yeah. The big blue. I cannot do any impressions tonight. Bad. I'm done.
No. Finish, Matt.
No.
Let's hear it. What were you going to say?
The big blue wet. Dude, I know.
You
that
gotta
was
start
awful.
with the waka. That gets you in.
I can't even do a good waka waka. Waka waka. I don't know what it is. I think that was bad.
You're getting worse.
I'm getting worse. I think it's because I'm completely sober. I think if I was drunk, I could do a good Fozzie Bear. But
are you Zach Bryaning?
No.
Are you going to rehab? Is that what we're?
No, I'm not. No, I didn't get a beer. You didn't give me a 15-minute heads up before recording. I didn't have time. I don't have the mini fridge in here anymore. I have my windows in, so my office is put back together. So no easy access to booze.
There is no, and I think this is a good message for all the Down Once More listeners. You don't need to drink. You don't need to drink to have fun. You don't need to drink for people to like you. And if you don't want to drink, you don't have to make excuses for that. You don't have to apologize for it. You know what? You go ahead and feel comfortable and confident in whatever choice you need to make for yourself and for your life. Whatever can make you be the healthiest, best version of you, you do that.
That's right.
Hold your head up high. Be confident in who you are.
And I've got news for you.
Cheers.
There's a good chance if people don't like you when you're not drinking, that if you are drinking, you're just going to be even that much more obnoxious and they're not going to like you even more.
There are so few people that I like more when they're drunk.
Yep. Agreed.
Like everybody thinks that like, I get so fun. Nope. You suck.
I already have a problem with rambling and not shutting up. It is worse when I drink. And I know that. I know that about myself.
I really struggle. I've been largely isolated working from home for the last several years. And now I've been going into work recently. And I'm finding that I lost my filter to like try to figure out what's interesting and like what contributes positively to a conversation. Someone will be like, "How are you doing?" And I will just monologue. And in the middle, I'm just like, "This is terrible. You should stop."
You're like, they just want me to say good.
Yeah, like 2 sentences, Brad. 2 sentences. And then ask a question so they feel important. Not what the fuck is this going on about?
That's right.
I'm still funny though.
Self-awareness is key.
Funny. Yeah, but self-awareness and you still can't do anything about it. That sucks.
That's true. But as long as you're still funny, then it's okay.
No, just like,
is it true? Is it kind? Will it make people laugh? That's what you got to think.
Oh man, really quick. I told my therapist about the 21 rules of our house growing up and how whenever we got in trouble, we had to like say which rule we broke and then write down verses from Proverbs for parenting.
Yes.
To like
we weren't parenting.
What's that?
I said, but we weren't the ones doing the parenting.
Misuse of the book. And my therapist's response was, that's insane. It was like the conversation started with like, here's how you could like do some of the work inside yourself to where you could like reconcile some things with your parents to maybe you don't have to.
Oh boy. Nice.
Oops. So
nice.
I hope I'm starting listening to this.
I think we're safe there. I would have had a lot more conversations if they were. It's been long enough now, and this is far enough in the episode. I don't think it was mentioned before. Brad and we recorded an episode. At the end, there were jokes about our grandpa. I had the episode edited. I had it uploaded to YouTube, scheduled to post in 2 days. The next day, got a call from our father that our grandpa died. And I'm like,
I believe one of the jokes that was made was he just needs to hurry up and die.
I think it might have been. And my first thought was,
that? What a monster.
Well, fuck, now I have to re-edit that. I have to edit that out. Can't leave that in there. But...
And I know that was your first thought because you texted me that.
Yup.
Well, now I gotta edit the episode.
Verified. But, well, now I won't be asked if I'm okay burning in hell for eternity at family functions. So that's where we are.
You might still be asked, just not by him.
That's true. It will be asked less direct. There will be more fluff around it. But back to Muppet Treasure Island. This was the brief family therapy session break. But one other song after I always enjoy. Boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka. Enjoy that when Benjamina Gunn is introduced. But that's another thing. In these scenes, like when Tim Curry, as Long John Silver, is having the conversation with Benjamina Gunn about their relationship and like the other people on the island too. And Tim Curry's just crushing it in this movie. Like, because he's really, besides Jim, who actually, for I don't know how old he was, but for a kid actor, person who played Jim, Kevin Bishop, actually was fantastic in this.
To be something better, something better,
a pretty little girl.
So, all right, maybe a good way for us to kind of lay in the plane though on this is I got a little game for us.
Okay,
and the question is, with their character in this movie, does this Muppet fuck? Can we get like a little sound and like little graphic?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
All right. Okay. Does this Muppet fuck?
Okay.
Captain Smollett. Kermie as Captain Smollett.
Yes, women like the power. He's porking the frog. I mean, porking the pig.
He's porking the frog. Benjamin won't like that very much at all.
That's what he's doing in the captain's quarters. He's...
All right. Benjamina.
Yes.
I think by definition, if one does the other, it's...
Well, and she was talking about her relationships with all the others there at the end. Jealousy. It was in there.
There's that adult innuendo.
It's true. It was the slutty pig. No. I think Gonzo wants to fuck. I think he's too awkward, quirky. Or he could be the one that's just weird enough and has the confidence that may fuck, but I lean towards no.
Rizzo the Rat.
Nope. Too anxious. He was a worrier about everything. Does not have the confidence to.
He's not a closer. That's what you're saying. He's not a closer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Squire Trelawney. Fozzie.
Yep. Nepo
money.
Baby got the money.
Yep. Always.
Yep. And more importantly, Mr. Bimbo fucks. So
I think that's why he's there. Sam, Mr. Arrow. Sam the Eagle is Mr. Arrow.
Yes. You'd think he's too uptight, but he's the one that gets freaky behind door. That's what I call Mr. Arrow.
They call him Mr. Arrow for a reason.
Exactly.
All right, Dr. Livesley. The doctor.
No.
I
don't.
I'm going to hold off my
answer. He has a sex Muppet in the closet, but no.
Well, we're about to talk about that sex Muppet, Beaker.
I
think that they're partners in more than one way.
Okay.
So I'm going to say yes to both. Statler and Waldorf as the figurehead on the prow.
No.
I think logistically we have to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetums.
Sweetums fucks.
Sweetums fucks. Animal?
Mm-hmm. Animal fucks.
Animal fucks. And the goat.
You know, I think Clueless actually does fuck.
I would say Clueless gets fucked.
Because he's fair. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. We all know our place.
Yep.
This
right.
has been our inaugural version of Does the Muppet Fuck.
Pretty much every Muppet fucks. That's what we determined.
What I'm finding is high hit rate on the Muppets.
High hit rate on the Muppets. Now, which puppet in media do you think fucks the most? So across all the Muppet movies, across Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I don't know if you're familiar with the Dirty Puppet movie musical Avenue Q.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know
Avenue Q with the seminal song "The Internet Is for Porn." Mm-hmm.
That's a good contender. I was gonna say one of the characters from Team America: World Police.
I don't count them as puppets; they are marionettes.
What a wonky distinction. I don't think they are.
Those are different. No one's hands up their ass. So I think by definition they cannot fuck the most.
I'm pretty sure people's hands are up their asses.
Okay.
They're just like wooden. Oh, are they dolls? Is it stop motion?
Maybe.
Oh.
No, they're marionettes. Look at this poster. There's strings, and the tagline is "Freedom hangs by a thread."
Yeah, it is marionettes. I stand corrected on that. But they are called marionette puppets.
Okay. Then yes, you're probably right. They probably fuck the most. I did not.
America.
I should have known
yeah.
that it was the South Park guys, Matt and Trey, that did Team America: World Police.
You should have,
but I did not. Shame on me. I've never seen the movie fully.
So we both have said that we like Muppet Treasure Island.
Correct.
I think maybe the closing question is: do you like Muppets, or do you just like Muppet Treasure Island?
I do not go out of my way to watch a Muppet movie. I have not, in general, it's not a strong contender. If I had to say, do you like the Muppets, do you not? I would probably lean more towards no. But so I like Muppet Treasure Island. None of the other ones am I inclined to go back and rewatch. I enjoyed them when I watched them. They were well done. They were good, but they're not ones I want to go back to. So, how about you?
I think
Muppet
that's
fan
fair.
Or Muppet Treasure Island fan?
I love the Muppets. I love the Muppets a lot. I love just about everything Muppet related. And I think the difference in our answers shows why this is such a good movie, is because it really is a Muppet movie for everyone. It's good enough for the fans of Muppets and the people that would always be on board with what the Muppets do, regardless. But it's also strong enough that people who aren't really into Muppets are still going to really enjoy this movie. The Muppet part of it isn't distracting from what the film's actually trying to accomplish.
Yeah, you almost forget that they're, like you said, you're still aware they're puppets, but it never feels like it's very obviously set up for puppets.
It's never a barrier.
Not distracting. But, yeah. Well,
all right.
I think we actually talked about the movie only for about 15 to 20 minutes on here, but I enjoyed the spirited discussion. I really enjoy this movie. The soundtrack is not on Apple Music, Fun fact. So you cannot rock out to Professional Pirate. So that it was disappointing.
You're a professional pirate. Great. Well, I got nothing else.
Oh, okay. Like I said earlier, next week will be a review of the Little Mermaid National Tour that's going on. After that, there will be some talk about the Wicked movie, potentially followed by a full review of the Wicked movie. And stay tuned. We got some things planned. I mentioned last week I want to talk about the Team Star Kid musical, the creators of Twisted. They have a Halloween horror musical, Black Friday, that's been out for a few years, and so we'll talk about that at some point as well, just because it's fitting and we can't forget Thanksgiving and jump straight to Christmas. So that'll be coming up. Brad, thanks for joining. Have you maybe I'll make you. Rayleigh and I talked about Twisted, and I know you enjoyed that film. Maybe I'll make you watch Black Friday on YouTube, and we'll talk some Team Star Kid Black Friday musical. So
big fan of Team Star Kid.
It's good stuff, and they have shows going in Chicago regularly. That's their home base. Chicago or LA, they go back and forth. But
come visit.
I will sometime. It'd be a good plan. All right.
I've been saying that for years.
I have. All right. Thank you all watching, listening. Go like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff.
If you want me to be a guest more, comment below. If you don't, actually, if you want me to be a guest more, don't comment. If you want me to never show up on the show again, comment below.
There you go. There. Good switch up there. Are you doing your Bob Dylan impression, though, to sign off?
Not for you.
I thought you were doing it. You said. The people are asking for it. If
ask for it in the comments
5 people comment, yeah. If we get 5 people comment specifically saying they want to hear Brad's Bob Dylan, we will release a video of him doing a Bob Dylan impression. So
yeah, and Elmo singing "Africa" by Toto.
Oh, okay, that's worth it. So people go comment, share. Thank you all. Have a great November, and don't forget to go down once more. Later.